The scream came from the garden. We need to get there now.
Tessa! I'll call the police.
The police?
Oh shit.
Claudia!
Wait!
What are you doing?
You can't call the police. Not yet.
Markus, keep your cousin away or I won't be able to control myself.
Claudia, please. Listen to us. We have to sort this out ourselves.
You don't seem to realize Tessa has just been
We
killed.
have to tell her.
Ro, no.
Tell me what?
Ro, leave it.
We're hunting a shadow and wanted to prevent the murder, but he's one step ahead of us again. The police can't do anything to stop him. Only we can defeat him since we are shadow hunters.
Markus?
Okay, yes, it's true. That's why I asked you to do that research. It was always about the crime scenes. I have visions of Marie, an ancestor, a former shadow hunter, and that's why I came here with you. I thought I'd be able to stop him.
Okay.
Okay?
It's so crazy that it must be true. And Markus is nowhere near creative enough to come up with that.
Ouch.
You're surprisingly calm about it.
I don't think I have any other choice. Okay, so what now?
Find the shadow.
He's inside one of the people present here. We have to find out who.
The only question is how. I couldn't find anything more detailed about him in the notes. He jumps from body to body and journeys using mirrors. Perhaps we can find another shard of glass and use that to discover who's the host.
And what if he came here in the body?
What if we don't actually need to work out how to identify the demon? Who had the opportunity to carry out the murder? If we can find out where Tessa was murdered and with what, and who had the time and opportunity to throw her into the lake unnoticed, then we'll know who's the murderer, and therefore the shadow.
Sounds like a plan.
The murder can only have happened between 11:45 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Before that, Tessa was still in the living room. Then she went to lie down because she had a headache.
Hurry. I'll have to call the police at some point. Otherwise the others will wonder what's going on. I'll give you 2 hours.
Alright, let's get started. I should probably start by interrogating everyone. Maybe I find contradictions in their statements. Where have you been these last 2 hours?
In the living quarters. When the electricity went, I quickly went down to the cellar to turn it back on. Then I went straight up to check on my wife. I knocked, but since she didn't respond, I thought she was still sleeping and went away again.
Do you know where your wife was?
She was in the living room with me, and then she went to her room to rest.
Do you know where the other people were?
No, I think Claudia was in the garden and then also went to her room. Pia and Adrian were having a drink on the terrace, but that was around 11:30.
Do you know when your wife went to her room?
At 12 o'clock.
Is it possible that Tessa had something to do with the power cut?
Certainly not.
It was exactly 12:15. I was just taking a bath and was charging my phone. When the electricity went, my phone screen lit up and I saw the time. At about 11:30, when I went into the garden to get some fresh air, she was in the living room. Not really, except somebody knocked on Tessa's bedroom door at about 12:30. First in the garden, then I played the piano around about 12 while Markus was in the shower. Afterwards I went to my room and was there until you came.
The body of Tessa. She was stabbed to death. The body of... What are you doing here?
I'm trying to find clues here. It's best if you ask the people questions. Perhaps you will find contradictions in their statements.
Any news?
I don't think she was murdered here. Her body was merely thrown into the water. There is no sign of blood or a struggle.
Is there anything about these people that I should know?
They've all known each other since university. The two men are brothers, and the women were best friends. P and Oliver are having a secret affair. Look, I found evidence of this in the room.
Rather uncomplicated, I see. Anything else?
At a particular moment, the lights went out. I don't yet know why or what for, however, and whether it has anything to do with the murder.
If that's not the murder weapon, I don't know what is. Maybe the shadow was careless enough to leave fingerprints? A bloodstained towel. This is where the knife was wrapped. Creams, mouthwashes, a brush. These are just a few documents and invoices concerning the house. Nothing that helps me. There are only a few gloves in the box. Claudia must have emptied her bag. Markus' room. Actually, I don't suspect him at all, but I would still like to take a look in his bag. It is empty. A basket full of blankets. A piece of a dress? Is that... Where were you at the suspected time of the murder?
I was on the terrace and had a bit of a chat with Markus until my husband came with the wine. We had a glass together, and then I chose a book and went to lie down in the garden. Markus should be able to testify to that too. I asked him to tell my husband that I needed some sun cream. When I had had enough of sunbathing, I made myself a snack in the kitchen.
Where were you when the electricity went off?
In the kitchen. Claudia had just stopped playing the piano.
Who turned the power back on?
I don't know.
The door to the cellar is right next to the kitchen. You saw nobody going down to turn the power back on?
No. I might have been standing by the fridge. And you can also get to the cellar from the hallway.
Where were you between 11 and 1?
I went to the cellar to pick out a decent bottle of wine for my wife and me. Then we had a glass together. That must have been around 11:30. I then briefly went to a room to be alone for a bit. After I had rested, I decided to get another nice bottle from the cellar. It took a bit longer to choose one.
Did you see who went into the cellar to turn the power back on?
No. The power cut happened after I had gone back up.
If you were in the cellar, why didn't you turn the electricity back on?
I didn't think the fuse box was in the cellar. I also wouldn't have known how to do it.
I need to talk to Pia alone. Someone has to lure Adrian out of the room for me. This is blood. It's still fairly fresh. Either Tessa was murdered here or at least she was dragged past. A rug like this? Perfect. On this background you can see the fingerprints on the adhesive strips, certainly good. That's all of them. And indeed, 2 people had the knife in their hands. There were 2 different... Markus, can you find a pretext to get Adrian out of the room? I have to speak to Pia alone.
Sure thing.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, everyone, but Adrian, could you help me for a minute?
Yeah.
We found this.
What? How? Doesn't matter. Yes, I'm having an affair with Oliver. It's been going on for a while now.
Did Tessa or Adrian know about it?
No! At least I hope not.
Is there anything else that you might like to tell me?
Yes. When you asked my husband where he had been at the time of the power cut, he lied. He can't have been in the cellar because Oliver and I were down there. We caused the power cut, and Oliver turned the electricity back on. Adrian was never in the cellar. We would have seen him.
Crime time, murderer, and crime scene. Make an effort, Ro.
Thanks for helping us choose. We can all do with a decent drink after this tragedy.
No problem. It's my pleasure.
No false moves. Go into the boiler room. We know who and what you are. There are no mirrors here for you to escape through. No!
Shit. Do you think he also had something to do with Marie's death? A shadow who takes possession of people.
Perhaps we have to stop him at all costs.